Hey, thanks for stopping by. Apple's Art Studio. I'm continuing my series on my favorite things, and one of my most favorite things of all time are the tiny canes from Niles and Toni Street. In this video, I will be making hooped earrings and also a pendant using the tiny canes. So stay tuned. I found it much easier to have all my cane slices, or at least the majority of them, cut out to begin with. Now, I really thought this would be easier to see than what it is, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 canes lined up right here. And they're all just about the same size. And I turn my little bottom. This is a Lucy Clay big slicer. And I've had it for years and I absolutely love it. Now, I was able to cut all of these slices at once, and they're the same thickness. And it's really going to help when I go to put them on these earrings. Now let me line these back up again. Okay. And I push down. One went over there. But here's some more. And that's so much easier than trying to cut one cane at a time. Now that's what it looks like. And this is your blade. You put your canes back in here. This table adjusts to the length of your cane. But I work with small canes a lot, so this is perfect for me. So let me get some of these other shapes. All those were round, and I have some triangle shapes and some leaf shapes that I want to cut, and I'll put them in differently. So let me get some more of these cut, and we'll be back. Okay, I did a little bit more off camera on this earring, because this is like watching paint dry. Putting these little canes on here. It takes a little bit of time, but I really think it's worth it. So I'm going to put on my bacon bond, or liquid clay. I'm going to get this one finished so I can bake the earrings. I have the pendant already baked. Big leaf left. Let's put that smaller one in there. I put the tip of that smaller one right in that little triangle area I had. Okay, let's see. There we go, that'll fit in there. And if the cane slices overlap a little bit, that's fine. You can roll them out some and with a cane bender or a knitting needle or something. And they don't distort that much. They stay small and but like I said earlier, just let them settle down a little bit. Let your liquid clay or bacon bond or whatever pull them down and basically adhere to your surface, and then you can go back and roll them flatter. And I think these are going to be pretty. Put a pansy up here. I guess the pansy, the bottom of it would be the yellow part. And we're going to put something right in here. Turn that around, that'll fit better. No, let's put one of these lotus flowers in there. Put one of these blue dots in there. Where was the space I just saw? What's over here? Almost got this done. I really like these little lotus flowers. Like a lily pad. these are overlapping some, and you can push them down and make them fit in your space there. Okay, that earring's finished now. We'll let it set. These are soap mold tops. They're silicone. They were the soap bar molds. Excuse me. And you can see they're really thick for polymer clay. You don't need all this. But when I cut the tops off, because I used to make soap all the time and I had a bunch of them, and I like the design in them for polymer clay, but I just didn't want to throw away the tops of them I cut off. I thought those can be used for something. So I save them and I bake on them, or I put things under the UV light on them. So I'm going to let these sit here for a minute. And we'll get this out of the way. And I'm going back to my pendant that has already been baked. And my liquid clay is clear. It's a Kato liquid clay. And it's clear, so it's going to be a little bit shiny. And I'm going to pour some in a little cup. And I'm going to cover this entire thing with liquid clay. You're all going to laugh at my heat gun. It's so old. It only has one speed, but look where it's melted. It still works though, and that's all I need. So I'm going to put some liquid clay on these. And I'm going to cure it. And what I'm trying to do with the liquid clay is to get it in the cracks in between the cane slices. Because I'm going to put deep shine on these as a complete finish. And I want the deep shine to go on as smooth as possible. Now, if you're going to cure something with liquid clay and a heat gun, whatever you do, don't put it on something metal and try to heat it up and cure it, because the metal will get hot and you'll burn yourself. So, use something like a wood skewer, or this is all polymer clay, so it's going to not get hot. Okay, this is going to be a little bit loud. And just keep your heat gun moving all the time. If you leave it in one space too long, it will burn the liquid clay. And you'll be able to tell when it's cured. It will soften everything up because it's reheating the clay. Can you see where that's getting shinier now? And this could be the finish. I just think putting deep shine on top of it will really help bring out the design and everything. Can you tell the difference in the camera where the right side over here is shiny and the left side's more dull? Okay, we'll let my heat gun cool down. Let's see if we can get this in here. It'll show up the shiny areas. See where all of this is shiny? All back in through here. And it's more dull back here. And we'll set this down and we'll let that cool down a little bit. This can be cured in an oven as well. And it says at 300 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can cure it with a heat gun or you can cure it in the oven. And you can see where it already is a shiny. And then where it isn't, it's still dull. And you don't have to put deep shine on it. This would really be shiny enough. But I just wanted it a little bit more shiny than what this is to bring out the detail in all the canes. Okay, here's another soap thing that I've cut off. The mold, just like I showed you that I set the earrings on, that's another soap mold that I had, and I cut the top of it off to make it not as deep so I could do polymer clay in the mold. So let's heat this up and get this part done. Let me adjust this camera a little bit. Now, see if it'll stay there. And you can see it change. You can see it go from a liquid to a shiny area. And remember, keep your heat gun moving at all times, so this will bubble up and burn. And we'll let that cool down. I've got one more little area to do, and then we'll be back. I think you can see, I can't pick it up because it's hot, but right in here, there is no liquid clay, and over in here, there is. So you can see how shiny this is here. So we'll be back in a minute and get this finished. I did want to show you one thing I think I didn't add in here. When you're doing the earrings, you just follow. This is a smaller curve. These I did for memory wire bracelets. But you just follow the curve of your earring and feed it on there and bake earring and your 2 bead on all at once. Now when I did the pendant, I had a circle cutter and I placed my raw clay in a ring, hooked the 2 ends together and filled up that seam, you know, hit it, and baked it in a circle cutter on the inside to get my circle. And I don't think I'd said anything about that before. But that's how I got that done. So I believe we have all of this finished. Everything I'm looking at is shiny. And what I was doing with the liquid clay was filling in some of these little gaps so the deep shine would go on it more smoothly. I also made a little dangle charm. This was 1 bead, and I get these beads from Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. And there's a bag of beads that you get, and it has all different kinds of beads. Some of them you get one of a kind, some of them you get 2, some of them you get 3. Some of them are already threaded, which this one was. So I just added 3 little bicone crystal beads and put them on there, and this will dangle in the center. And I'll put in an eye screw and hook it with a jump ring to an eye screw. So this part of this is done, and we'll get to the deep shine, and I'll put the deep shine on, and I'm going to rest it on this top of this soap mold and do one side of deep shine at one time. When it's cured, I'll turn it over and do the other side. My heat gun, I showed you, it's old. I've had it for years and years and years. This is where it burnt up and bubbled, but it still works. It's a very cheap heat gun with 1 speed on and off, because that's all you need. So let me get set up and we'll do the deep shine on this, and we'll be right back. Okay, I have deep shine on both of my earrings, and they've been cured. And I have deep shine on my pendant here. So let's finish up this pendant while we're here. I had, well, let me find it now, right here. I had pre-drilled a hole, just a little bit, so I want to add an eye screw in there. But I want the hole to be, I don't want to just push the eye screw in. I actually want to use the threads on the eye screw to, and here's my little eye screw. But I want to use the threads to actually turn it into the baked polymer clay, and it'll hold. I used well-bond glue, just a little bit. Let's see if you can, I don't even know if you can see it on there. There you can. Just a little bit on the end of my eye screw. And I'm putting this up here on the side. Up here on the side instead of down here, because I'm going to put a suede leather necklace on this. Okay, that eye screws in, and I've added a couple of jump rings to the top of this already. And I'm going to hang this from my eye screw. Okay, my opening's right there on my jump ring. And remember, don't pull it this way. Twist it and open it. I really should give that a little bit more time for that glue to set up in there. And I closed it back the same way. I lost some footage on this, so I'm going to go back where I think this left off and then just tell you and show you what I used to get the pendant finished. Okay, these are the earrings. They're done. Go out a little bit. Okay, they're finished. They've got the deep shine on them and they're absolutely gorgeous. This is the pendant. Come back in a little bit. This was my big bead. I put the 3 bicone crystals onto the end of it. I put a eye screw in the side of this, up here instead of in the bottom. And I put 2 jump rings on there and dangled the bead onto that. Then I put on a piece of, it's called suede leather. It's a real soft blend necklace. And I put my cone caps on and my O-rings, my jump rings, and then my big heart lobster claw. I love these things. They're big and you can use them. Now when I did the cones, I need to get a piece of leather up here. Okay, when I did the cones, I took the end that was going in the cone. I folded it over. I used 20 gauge wire. You could very easily use 22 gauge. And I made me a loop in the end that was going to stay inside the cone. And I folded my my suede necklace piece over that. And then I used well-bond glue and glued all of this down together. Now this needs to be longer. I cut them like, let's see what this is, 3.5 inches. I then put my cone on this part, and then on the end, get that out there. On this end, I made a hoop that would fit right outside the cone. And then I glued with well-bond glue, I put it all up inside the cone and gave it a chance to dry. I hooked on an oval jump ring and then a round jump ring. I did the same thing on this side. And put my lobster claw clasp on there. And I think it looks pretty cool. So let me get these all set up to where you can see them. And if you have any questions about that, leave them in the comments. I forgot to show you one thing that's really important. When you take your heavier wire, this was 20 gauge, 22 would work well too, and you fold down your piece of leather and you glue it, let it dry a minute, and then I can't find a gauge on this. It came in a pack of small wires. I'm gonna say it's at least a 24 and or even a 26. And you put it on your piece of leather, that you've got your metal going through, and you wrap it around to hold your pieces of leather together, and it's going to give something more stable once you glue it and hook it up into your cone piece. And you can, when you glue all of this now and stick it up in your comb piece. That's going to hold in there. So let's get to the end of this one, and I'm ready to start a next one, which is a really, really crazy video coming up. Real crazy. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. Please come back. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments or contact me and ask me. If you want me to do something, leave it in the comments. If it's a product to use that I have, which I have a bunch, or if it's a technique or something, let me know what you're needing help with, or what that I have, which I have a bunch. Or if it's a technique or something, let me know what you're needing help with or what you'd like to see, and I'll see what I can do. So have a great evening. Stay safe. Blessings.